Okay, welcome to my channel, everyone. I Today we'll be going to the chapter vector. Okay, so we'll be first seeing what will be the points we'll be covering up in the chapter vector. So here are the points. So today we have the chapter vectors. So here we'll be seeing the point, the vector and scalar quantities, general points regarding vectors, addition and subtraction of two vectors, components of a vector, and products of two vectors. So today we'll be going to complete this chapter, mainly the theory part. In the next video, I'll be taking up the numericals about this chapter and related in the chapter. So today we'll be seeing what are the main things in vectors, the type of vectors, what are vectors, vector and scalar quantities, the general points regarding vectors and everything. Okay, so we know that there are two quantities. Okay, if it's a physical quantity, then we have two types of quantity. It is either scalar quantity or vector quantity. So here we know that there are two quantities. When it's a physical quantity, then of course there are two types. We can say that it's a scalar and a vector quantity. So yeah, here we have the two quantities, scalar and the vector quantity. In scalar quantity, we only have magnitude. Okay, and in vector quantity, we both have magnitude and the direction. Now if we would say that what it is actually, so a scalar quantity can be described completely by its magnitude only. The addition, subtraction, division or multiplication of scalar quantities can be done according to the ordinary rules of algebra. Okay, and when it's a scalar quantity, then when it's a vector quantity, sorry, in any vector quantity should have a specified direction and a magnitude even. So if we would say that we have took a block and it is moving with 2 meter per second. Okay, now this is a speed. Okay, this is speed, and speed is obviously a scalar quantity, so we will only have a magnitude. And when I say that this block is moving in east direction with 2 meter per second, then we will say this is a vector quantity. Okay, so here we get to know that yes, in the scalar quantity we will have only the magnitude and we won't have a direction, but when it's a scalar vector quantity we'll have both the magnitude and the direction. So we will see some examples of scalar and the vector quantity. So in vector quantity we can have displacement, velocity, acceleration, etc. All the units, all the quantities which have direction, we can say that it is a vector quantity, and the rest which have only magnitude like mass, distance, speed, etc., they are the vector quantities. Okay, now we come to the next point, the general points regarding vectors. Vector notation: usually a vector is represented by a bold capital letter with an arrow over it, as A, B, C, etc., as you see. The magnitude of vector A is represented as A in mod. Okay, like this. Wait, like this. We will say that this is the magnitude, and this, like this, we represent the vector. Okay. The second is graphical representation of a vector. Graphically, a vector is represented by an arrow drawn to choose a circle parallel to the direction of the vector. The length and direction of the arrow thus represent the magnitude and the direction of vector respectively. So how will we say that? Maybe we give this is a vector A, okay, and this is a vector B. Okay, so we know when we give a vector, then we will know that the direction we have assigned it, this is the actual direction of the vector A and this is the actual direction of vector B. Okay, so the direction will choose, like the direction where we'll draw the arrow, it signifies that the direction isn't that arrow like this. If we say that the A vector is having this direction, and the other, I said, the B vector is having this direction. Okay. Now we have the steps involved representing a vector. By choosing a proper scale, draw a line whose length is proportional to the magnitude of the vector. By the following standard convection to show the direction, indicate the direction of the vector, making an arrowhead at one of the end. Like I said, this is A vector, this is a B vector, this is a C vector. So like this we'll be drawing the vectors. Okay. Now it comes that how will we take out the angle between two vectors. Okay, when it's given that suppose we have two vectors. Okay, so here we have two vectors, vector A and vector B. So now you will say that what will be the angle formed. So first what we need to do is we need to join these two. Now how will we join? We just need to join once the vector A's, sorry, we need to join vector A's tail, we say this tail, and we say this head of the vector. Okay, so we need to join the tail and the head, or here we can join the tail and the tail, so that we make this vector as A and B. So this is angle theta, and this is the angle formed between the two vectors. Okay. Now we come to the point kinds of vector. Now one more thing I missed to say you in this thing. In this, the theta, okay, the theta formed here, the theta which is formed, okay, here the theta which is formed between the two vectors, will be around 0 degree to 180 degree. Now while I have said that we have a head and a tail, okay, we have the head and a tail of a vector. Like here we say we have a vector A and a vector B. So what we need to do is that we need to join one's head with one's tail. So like this we'll be joining it, head and the tail. Okay, A vector and B vector, and after joining, the angle we'll be getting, the angle which we'll get as theta, that theta in that theta will be around 0 to 180 degree. Okay, understood? So now we come to the points, the kinds of vectors. Okay, so in the kind of vector we have unit vector. The first is the unit vector. Unit vector, we have a unit of a unit, a vector of a unit magnitude is called the unit vector. Like this we donate in notate in notation is of the vector A. So unit vector is something like we say a single vector. Okay, a single vector we'll be noting as this. So this is the unit vector, and now we have the zero, the null vector which we say. So 0 and the null vector is a vector having 0 magnitude is called null vector or 0 vector. Okay, so if a vector which has no specific direction is, we can say that it's a 0 vector, or a vector whose position of origin is 0, or the 0 vector are only of mathematical importance. 0 vectors are only for mathematical importance. So if a vector, I give a vector A, I given a vector A and I didn't give its direction, the direction is not given, then this is a 0 vector. And the position vector, maybe this is the position vector, so when it's a position vector then it always starts from 0, so it will always be 0, so it's a 0 vector or a null vector. Now we come to the next type, next kind of vector, which is equal vectors. Equal vectors in sense that I gave a vector A and a vector B. Okay, so both the vectors will have same magnitude and same direction. Okay, so this vector we call it as a equal vector. Now we have the next type is parallel vectors. Vectors are said to are parallel which have same directions. Now I say this is a vector A and one more vector B is running parallelly. It's in the same direction, so it's running parallelly. So these two vectors are parallel vectors. Okay. Now the next is anti-parallel vectors. Now in the anti-parallel vectors we can say that a vector is A and the other vector is B. So they'll have different directions. Okay, they'll have different directions. Now when we say that they will have different directions, so of course when we know that if we took one direction as this is my positive direction, so of course this direction will be my negative direction. So when a vector, now this the next kind of vector is a negative vector. So when we have took that this direction will be positive and this direction will be negative, then we say that the vector B is running in a negative direction and this is a negative vector. Okay, we have took a vector direction, this direction is positive, and we have took that this direction is negative. So the vector which is running in this direction, we will say it a minus, the minus of its magnitude. So this vector B is a negative vector. Another kind is concurrent vectors, co-initial vectors. Now, the vectors having same initial points are called concurrent vectors or co-initial vectors. When we have an initial point, every vector which is going is moving is having a same initial position. Okay, same origin. Okay, same origin. So here we say that they are co-initial vectors. Now we have another is coplanar vector. Coplanar vector is the vector lying on the same plane. We know that we have two or three planes, x, y and z. So the vectors, okay, so the vector is in the same plane. If this is a vector A and this is a vector B, then they are all in a same plane. Okay, they are in a same plane, like they are not in another plane. If they are in the same plane, then it's said it's a coplanar vector. Now comes the orthogonal vector. In orthogonal vector, this is the last kind of vector we have in our syllabus. Orthogonal vector is the two vectors are said to be orthogonal when angle between them is 90 degree. Okay, this theta is 90 degree. So this is called orthogonal vectors. Okay. Now we have the multiplication and division of the vectors. The product of a vector A and the scalar m is a vector ma whose magnitude is m times the magnitude of vector A, which is the direction of opposite according to the. So here we'll say that in the scalar quantity we don't have the direction. Okay, we don't have the direction, so we can write like this: ma equal to m into A. Okay, the direction will be either positive or negative. So this mod will be removing that direction and it will automatically bring out in the positive direction. So this is the multiplication and division of the vectors. Now we come to the addition and subtraction of two vectors. We got a formula here for the addition and subtraction of vectors. Is this is the formula: r equal to the resultant vector. We have two vectors. Okay, we take two vectors, vector A and vector B, which we have joined by joining the head and the tail. Okay, you remember. So we'll have a resultant vector. Now how will we take out this resultant vector? We have a nice formula of it: the a square plus b square plus 2ab cos theta, the theta formed here in the root over. Okay, so here they so we joined two vectors, and after joining the two vectors we get a resultant vector 2. Okay, so this resultant vector will be equal to the root over a square plus b square plus 2ab cos theta. Okay, the cos theta this the angle formed between the two vectors. Okay, this is the formula. Now we can see that this is a formula of a plus b's whole square, right? Okay, so the resultant vector is the resultant vector's formula is a square plus b square plus 2ab, and the cos theta, the angle formed between the two vectors. Okay, so we have some special cases too here, where if the theta is 0, then we can say that r equal to maximum, and we just simply add the two vectors. When it's 180 degree, then the r is minimum, and uh, we subtract the vector. And when it's 90 degree, then we simply make a root over a square plus b square, because we know that cos 90 will be 0. Okay, now if we will say, if there will be a question that find out the angle between the vectors, so from here we'll be able to take out the angle formed between the two vectors. Okay, now it's given that a vector a and a vector b is given. So when we'll be having a resultant, okay, so they'll be giving us the beta. We need to calculate the angle formed is beta and the gamma. So the formula is, so here we have the formula to take it out, b sine theta by a plus b cos theta. Now, yes, of course, maybe you won't be able to understand how we'll be taking the sine theta and the cos theta. Then we'll discuss this when I'll come to the point components of vector, how we'll be taking out the components of vector. But still, for now, you just see, and if you want, you can note down this formula. If we have the tan alpha, okay, here we have the tan alpha. So the tan alpha we will be taking out by uh, this formula. Okay, b sine theta by a plus b cos theta. And if it's the beta, this angle, then we'll be taking out with this formula, a sine theta by b plus a cos theta. Okay, now we come to the triangle law. According to this law, if the tail of one of the vector is placed at the head and the sum of the resultant is drawn from the tail ends of first to head end of the other. So here we say that we have drawn two vectors. Okay, so the resultant will be, of course, the Pythagoras theorem. We can say this, r equal to a plus b. Okay, the triangle law. So here we can say that the resultant will be a plus b equal to b plus a. Now we have the subtraction. Negative of a vector a is a vector of same magnitude, but the pointing is a direction opposite. I said you that if we took this as a positive, so this will be a negative one. Okay, so subtraction will be like this, and nothing will be changed, just the formula where we use when it's subtraction, then we just need to make here minus. Okay, here we given plus, and when it's subtraction of a vector, we'll give here minus. Okay, getting me? So when we have addition of two vectors, then we give plus. When it's subtraction, then we give minus. In the same way where we have the triangle law, okay, the triangle law, then when it's subtraction, then we'll give here the the sign to be minus, a minus b. Okay, you can see here, look, we just had done the minus. Okay, and the tan alpha. So here in the formula where I've shown you the tan alpha and tan beta, so here we'll give the minus directions. Okay, if it's addition of vectors, then we'll give a plus direction. When it's minus, then we'll give the minus directions. Okay, here we come to the polygon law of vector addition for more than two vectors. This law states that if a vector polygon be drawn placing the tail end of each succeeding vector at the head of the arrow ends preceding one, the resultant is drawn with the tail of the first and the arrow at the end. So it is the r equal to a plus B plus C. Here you see the diagram. Okay, it's a parallelogram. So here we have A vector, B vector and C vector, and this with joins, here a polygon is formed and we say that A plus B plus C is the resultant vector. This is the resultant vector C B A. Okay. Now we come here to the components of vector. We come here to the components of vector. So when it's a vector, okay, I'm taking a new page. When we say that this is a vector, okay, this is a vector T vector. So we say that the component which is at the base, we say it cos theta, and the one who's above in the base, it is, we say it sine theta. So here we say that T sine theta and T cos theta. Mainly we have to take at least two components in vector. When we break a vector, we take two components, okay, like T sine theta and T cos theta. And when it's a parallelogram where we discuss there, then the magnitude to take out is r equal to rx square plus ry square plus rz square. So from here we'll get the components of the vectors, the vector r of the magnitude of vector r in the parallelogram. So here we have the position vector. To locate the position of any point P in a plane, generally a fixed point of a reference is called original OT. The vector OP is the positional vector. This O and P is a positional vector, and we have here. And the note for point P1, there is only one and only one position vectors with respect to origin O. Position vector of a point P changes with the position of the origin O is changed. Okay, so the position vector, we have this as a position vector. Now we have the displacement vector. If coordinates of a point A be the position of a vector, so this is the displacement vector. What is the displacement? The shortest distance. So this is the vector. Now the shortest distance from the original, we say this RA, the shortest distance from here to RB. So from here we will take out the position vector, okay, and then we get the displacement vector equal to x2 minus x1 I cap plus y2 minus y1 j cap plus j2 minus z2 minus z1 k cap. So from here we'll get the displacement vector. So first we need to take out the position vector, then we will be adding up them, okay, z2 minus z1 I cap j cap are indicating the axes. I cap is for x axis, j cap is for y axis, and k cap is for z axis. Okay, clear? So now we come to product of two vectors. Product of two vectors is of two kinds: scalar or dot product, or a vector or cross product. In scalar dot product, we take out a into b is a into b into cos theta. Okay, the scalar or dot product of two vectors a and b is denoted by a dot b. It is defined as product of magnitude of two vectors a and b and the cosine of the included angle. A into b equal to a dot b vector. The cross product, the dot product of two vectors is a into b into cos theta. Cos theta is the angle formed between the two vectors. Okay, now here are some important points regarding the dot product. The following points should be remembered regarding the dot product is that a into b is b into a into b plus c equal to a into b plus a into c. Here we had this in the polygonal where we had a, b and c. So here we can also say that a dot b plus c equal to a into b plus a into c. A into a is a square, a into b is a b cos theta equal to a, the component of b along a. Okay, I into I cap is j equal to j cap equal to cos theta, and we will see all the points here which is given. You just note it down, okay? And then we have the vector of cross product. Here we in the dot product we did a into b cos theta, but here we will be doing a into 3 sin theta. Okay, in the cross product we will be having the sin theta. Now here are some important points regarding the vector product. A into b is minus of b into a. The cross product of two parallel or antiparallel vectors are 0. A into b is a into b sin theta, and theta equal to 0, sin theta equal to 0 for two parallel vectors. The vector is running like this, so the angle is formed is 0 degree. Okay, and there are all the points here. If the two vectors are perpendicular each other, we have the theta equal to 90 degree, therefore sin theta is here we have. And the fourth point is a into b plus c equal to a into b plus a into c, where we had an additional vector. Look, here I was talking about where we had a plus b plus c. So from here where we had the polygonal law, from here we said that here that a into b plus c equal to a into b plus a into c. Okay, so here we are done with the chapter vector, the theory part. I formally followed the book DC Pandey's theory. Okay, DC Pandey volume 1. Okay, if you have it, then you can go through the theory and you can hear me whatever I have said and I have explained. And thanks for watching this video. And in the next video we'll be either covering the kinematics chapter or the numericals related to the chapter's vectors. Okay.